So when I was in high school, there was this guy named Mad Eyes McGee whose eyes were always mad. Everyone in school always wondered why his eyes were so mad. No matter what he did, he was mad. We went to the water park. Mad. We got ice cream. Mad. He got all A's on his report card. Mad. He met the Pope. Mad. Won the Sweet Life with Zach and Cody Gogurt cruise and met Zach and Cody and Mr. Mosby. Mad. Found out in 1991 Mr. Mosby killed someone in a DUI accident because his blood alcohol content was 3 times the legal limit and he was sentenced to 5 years in jail but got out and won because he was good at acting. That's true, look it up. But that made him mad. He asked a girl out and she said yes. Mad. He won prom king. Mad. He won the high school football championship. Mad. For his 16th birthday, his parents got him a Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon and guess what? Mad. Nothing seemed to make this dude happy. And I just couldn't take it anymore. So one day I asked him, Mad Eyes McGee, why are you so mad? And it turned out he had a stick up his ass. Not like the saying either. I mean like an actual stick up his ass, just stuck up there. So he wouldn't let anyone take it out, so me and my friends got an idea. We decided to play tug of war and I stood behind him. And when it was time to pull, I didn't pull the rope, I pulled the stick out of his ass. But when it came out, it ruptured his colon and he had to get a colostomy bag. Then he was really Mad Eyes McGee. So I was a sophomore in high school and the homecoming dance was coming up and I wanted to go with Samantha Knobgobbler because word around the school was if you went on a date with her, she'd gobble your knob like corn on the cob. So I asked her out before anyone else and she said yes. I was so excited. I was about to get my knob gobbled at homecoming. So I got myself a tuxedo and I looked damn good. I looked like a young James Bond. I was ready. The only weird thing was my mom drove us to the dance and she smokes with the windows rolled up, but I didn't care. I only had one thing on my mind, getting my knob gobbled. So she dropped us off at the dance and I started boogie-woogieing. And there was a snack bar and the local gas station was catering sushi. My school didn't have a big budget. So I ate a few pieces of the sushi and I went back out on the dance floor to break it down. Then the song Witch Doctor came on. You know, the song that goes ooh-ee, you know? Ooh-ah-ah. Don't forget the ting-tang, walla walla, end it with a bing bang, you know that song? And that song was my shit. So when I went to twerk, I did shit. My pants. It came out of nowhere. And then right then, Samantha Knobgobbler grabs me by my hand and says, hey, you want to ditch this dance and go get your knob gobbled? So I said, no, I'm actually gay, sorry, because I didn't want her to know I had a massive shit in my pants. She was so offended because nobody has ever turned down getting their knob gobbled by Samantha Knobgobbler. So she ran away and drove off with Billy Bowling Hands. This was before he drowned. I'm sure his balls were like bowling balls. So in high school, there was this kid named Gary, and he loved to eat glue. Every time you looked at him, he was squeezing a bottle of Elmer's glue in his mouth. For lunch, he'd bring a lunchbox full of glue. Nothing but glue. And he'd eat it. Bro was constantly in the bathroom, constipated from all the glue in his ass. Everybody would point at him and say, glue eater, glue ass. But he loved it. He didn't care what anyone thought of him. And I thought that was pretty cool. So I asked him to go to Applebee's with me, and I ordered the mozzarella sticks. But he brought glue sticks, and he just chomped on them. But we became good friends. But he died the way you'd expect someone who ate glue would die. A skydiving accident. You see, we had a senior skydiving trip at my school, and you had to pick a partner and pack your own stuff, and he said, don't forget the parachutes, but I thought he said pair of shoes. So when he jumped out of the plane and he went to deploy his parachute, a pair of Nike Air Jordans came out and he hit the ground and died. I was so confused because they were Air Jordans, but I guess that didn't matter. So I didn't jump out after I saw what happened. But his tombstone was the shape of a bottle of glue. Elmer's paid for all the funeral costs. So when I was in high school, there was this kid named Willie, and he loved wisdom teeth. I'm talking, he was obsessed with them. He had a wisdom teeth shirt, wisdom teeth glasses, a wisdom teeth hat. This freak had a wisdom teeth shrine in his locker. He even sold wisdom teeth merch, so he could make enough money to buy people's wisdom teeth when they got them removed. He was like the wisdom tooth fairy. He thought if he got enough wisdom teeth, he could blend them all up into a big wisdom teeth smoothie, and it would make him the smartest kid in the world. He would even eat a bowl of wisdom teeth like cereal. He called them wisdom teeth O's. One day, his wisdom teeth started to come in, and he didn't want to get them removed because he thought it was a sign from God that he was the smartest kid in the world from all the wisdom teeth he'd been consuming. But then, his wisdom teeth got so big, he looked like a walrus-looking motherfucker. He was literally almost cast in the live-action remake of the movie Ice Age as Manny the Mammoth. His wisdom teeth got so big, he couldn't even open his mouth to eat. They had to drill a hole through his teeth and put a straw through it to feed him. He eventually ended up starving to death when he realized he didn't like soup. So when I was in high school, there was this kid named Noah Pickens the nose picker. He was known for picking his nose. I'm talking he was picking his nose 24/7. There was always a finger in his nose digging for gold. His fingers were so sticky from all the boogers, he could actually climb up the walls like Spider-Man. He actually won the state championship football game because he caught the game-winning touchdown with one booger finger. He was like Odell Beckham before Odell Beckham was Odell Beckham. He was so cool after that, every kid in the school started picking their noses too, but their boogers just weren't as sticky as his. Then one day, there was a hole that was blown in the dam of the city, and the whole town was flooding. So Noah took all his boogers and made one big booger ball, and plugged up the hole in the dam and saved the whole town. The mayor even gave him the key to the city. Then they named that day National Booger Ball Day in honor of Noah Pickens the nose picker. So now, every year, the town has a contest to see who can make the biggest booger ball. I don't know what happened to Noah Pickens, but I heard he actually changed his first name to George.